In the recent blockbuster Bohemian Rhapsody, Freddie Mercury's character explains why his solo career failed by saying, "I hired a bunch of guys, I told them exactly what I wanted them to do, and the problem was, they didn't." Now, there are a couple of nuggets of business wisdom in that quote, but mostly it's about cognitive diversity. Freddie's attempts to circumvent the hassles of working with a cognitively diverse team killed the magic. So what is cognitive diversity? Cognitive diversity results when a team of diverse thinking members are encouraged to freely voice different perspectives and situations, including decision-making processes. Working with a cognitively diverse team can be challenging because it requires effort to resolve the differences that arise within the team. But as the band Queen learned in the movie, that creative process is critical for the most excellent outcome. Now, there are several inventories out there, such as the Myers-Briggs and the DISC, designed to measure a person's natural tendencies when it comes to thinking and communicating at work. For the sake of simplicity, I'll reference the DISC for this example, where someone with a high D score is often described as demanding, driven, and motivated by competition. A high I score is often seen as an influencer and people person motivated by relationships. A high S is characterized as stable, consistent, and motivated by cooperation. And a high C is referred to as conscientious, detailed, and motivated by accuracy. Now, high-performing teams have all four types represented and are able to consistently appreciate each other, bridge to each other's communication styles, resolve conflict, and make decisions together. Now, there are proven ways to build that type of team environment through programs like Groups Work, which is pioneered by Jana Bavoso at the People Business, Inc. So why do companies unwittingly migrate toward innovation-crippling homogeny? Imagine a company with a high D CEO who has built an organization with a track record for cognitive diversity. In other words, we're starting out with a nicely diverse team, but the CEO has recently turned her focus to other demands due to company growth. The executive VP, who is a combination IS, leaves the organization for whatever reason. When interviewing for his replacement, the CEO feels most attracted to and aligned with the candidate who is a high D, because she feels most comfortable conversing with him and he closely reflects the CEO's own natural tendencies. As a result, the new executive VP position is filled with a high D. Those who report to the new executive VP are used to an IS, who expressed his appreciation generously, showed personal care for them and their families, encouraged input, even from the quiet ones, and took them out to coffee once a month for their team meeting. His I trait made him approachable. His S traits made his team feel stable and safe, encouraging his team's loyalty. As a result of the new leader's natural style, the quiet C team members start to stop sharing ideas. The non-Ds in the group slowly become disengaged, feeling that their new leader doesn't care about them personally. And the monthly coffee meetings, they stop because the new leader doesn't have time for them and they were costing the company money. Well, as it turns out, that relatively minimal investment in coffee meetings had been an endearing ritual that brought the team together and made them feel appreciated. Cancellation of Coffee Friday, the second Friday of each month, has several team members feeling resentful of the new manager and speculating that the company no longer cares about them, even enough to invest a few dollars in appreciation. Now, of course, the new VP is actually a fine guy and a competent leader. None of these outcomes were intentional, but they happened because there wasn't a strategy to account for how the change in style, or the cognitive diversity, would impact the team. Unfortunately, several of the disillusioned team members leave the company in a few months, feeling hurt and betrayed. And primarily the Ds stay because they resonate well with the new boss's style. So here's what happens next. When interviewing replacements for the departing employees, the interviews are conducted by the EVP and his team, as you'd expect. But following the recent attrition, the majority of the interviewing team are now Ds, and they naturally select several candidates who resonate most closely with their communication styles and values, which means more Ds. As the changes in management impact the next level down, and attrition occurs in that lower level, departing associates are also replaced by Ds in a rate that's higher than you would expect by chance. You can continue to extrapolate this both down and across the organization until the company is heavily de-weighted. This company has now sacrificed its innovative edge for homogeny, and their turnover rates have skyrocketed as well. Now, remember, each of the 4 styles provides incredible value, and having equal representation is what results in a high-performing team. I used a D CEO and EVP as an easy example in this story, but those roles could have been any style and triggered a similar outcome. For example, a team used to a D leadership that's replaced with an I. Members of that team might feel frustrated about the lack of progress while the team spends more time relating to one another and ensuring everyone is heard. I've heard people in this situation say, "Is this another kumbaya meeting?" Right? Similarly, a D replaced with a C might result in a team feeling like they're so stuck in the details that they can't get to the end goal. The point is, I'm not picking on Ds. I just chose them for this example. So how do you stop the unconscious march toward homogeny in your organization? Well, first, help your staff identify differences in cognitive and communication styles within their teams. Assessments like the DISC help provide a baseline and a shared vocabulary. Train your teams to recognize and appreciate cognitive diversity through programs like groups work. Then support and maintain a vocabulary and a culture of cognitive diversity from the top down. I've even seen companies include DISC letters on office name plaques so that colleagues entering an office can consciously alter their style to accommodate who they're talking to. I'm an IS, but if I walk into an office with a D on the name plaque, I know I need to get to the point quickly and not ask how their weekend was. Now, executive leaders need to model an awareness of and support of style differences in meetings and conversations, including efforts to bridge their own styles to the styles of others. Encourage those who might not normally speak up in a meeting to share their ideas and opinions. You need to ensure that all styles are represented in a meaningful way during interview processes for new hires. And when appropriate, include cognitively diverse members from teams across the company. And when discussing potential new hires, include conversations about the existing team dynamics. Is there a style that's underrepresented? Rather than just considering what candidates would fit easily with the team, also consider what candidates might challenge the team to grow in creative thought. Now, it wasn't always smooth, but as a diverse group, Queen won countless awards, including the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Are your teams poised for similar success?